Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Well done. Radha Krishna Bhagwan ki jai. Now, I remember Shritan used to sing so nicely in the seminars. Shritan, can you just sing a couple of times the Maha Mantra?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Well done. That is a really nice tune. In fact, the founder Acharya of this Hare Krishna movement, Srila Prabhupada, that was his signature tune. He always used to sing that tune. And then he used to go fast, then bring it slow. But he absolutely loved that tune. So thank you so much, Ritan. So I'd like to introduce everybody, introduce Shavi to everybody. Yeah. And oh yes, wanted to thank you, our hosts, Venkatji. Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Namaste. So nice. Very, very nice to see you. I know you always working hard and sparing this time is very, very nice of you. Thank you so much. And this is Lakshmiji and Chitan. And also we have Nandini. Nandini. She's at university, right?
Oh no, I'm not at university.
He's isolating the room.
I have to isolate, so I'm in my room.
Actually, I'd like to isolate as well. Get out. She'd like to isolate. She keeps telling me, get out of here. And I'd like to thank Kalpanaben also. She's also one of the hosts. Kalpanaben, yes, she's there. Thank you so much, Kalpanaben. So we can start. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I know some of your friends have joined. And maybe later on, there'll be more coming so we can introduce them at that time. So we can start with the Bhagavad Gita. I was thinking Shritan and Nandini, would you like to read the English translations? It's on the screen anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just wait, I'll just show you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Shavi will read the Sanskrit, and then you guys can read the English. And then later on, I think Kathan and Katit may also want to read English, but we'll work that through. So Shavi, you can start.
Ityunuvacha evam satatayuktaye bhakta swam parupasate ye chapya aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yogavittamaha.
Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
Vanuvacha maya veshamano ye mam nityayukta upasate shraddhaya parupetaste me yukta tamamataha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Aksharam nirtishyam avyaktam parupasate sarvatra kamachintyam cha kutastam achalam dhruvam sanniyam yendriyakramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhutahite rataha.
But those who fully worship the unmanifested beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons, engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve me.
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते.
For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्ता उपासते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्.
But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Partha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Vamana adatsva mei buddhim niveshayah shaya nivasishyasi meyeva atha urdham na samshayah.
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt.
So I just wanted to quickly mention about this chapter. And actually, I was so impressed with Kathan and Katit. They were also reading the first two verses. So congratulations, you two. Amazing. Krishna is being asked by Arjun, what is better, to worship your personal form or your unmanifested impersonal form? The light, the effulgence emanating from him. So he very clearly explains to Arjun that that person who worships the unmanifested, for him, it's going to be a really difficult path. But for that person who worships the personal form of Lord, for example, the two-handed form of Krishna, which is three-bending with the flute, for that person, actually he explains this in text 7. For them, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So it's always better to worship the form of the Lord. Some people are attached to worshiping the light or unmanifested. It's a very difficult path. In this age of Kali, We need all the help we can get. And then from verse 8 until verse 12, Krishna explains how flexible he is. He's giving different degrees of devotion that we can undertake. And he's being very flexible with us. So we can see what he's saying to Arjun. So Shaibi, are you doing number 9 as well?
Yes, I'm going to do number 9 and 10.
Wow, my goodness, that's incredible. So the boys can read 9 and 10.
Okay. Atha chittam samadhatum na saknoshi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichaptum dhananjaya. Now, dear Arjun, a winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without devotion, then follow the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. अभ्यासेऽप्यक् समर्थोऽसि मत्कर्मा परमो भव मदार्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि.
Kathan is not here. You want to read?
Kathan's not here, so I'll read for him.
Okay.
If, however, you are unable to work in this conscious...
Number 10. Number 10.
Number 10. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect state.
Wow.
Athaitadapyashaktosi kartum madyogamashritah sarvakarma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan.
So Kartik can do this one as well.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be
Situated. Shreyo hi gnanam abhyasaj gnanad dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phalatyagas tyagat shantiranantaram.
Over back to you, Shwetan and Nandini.
If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
So the different things he's saying, the different categories, levels of worship. First thing he said, fix your mind and your intelligence in me. And then you will live with me. Then he says, okay, if you can't do that, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, which means to chant his holy names, do japa mala, to read about him, to hear about him, all these different processes that we can adopt. Oh, you can't do that? Then work for me. Do something for me. Okay, you can't do that? Then if you're working for somebody else, then give up the fruits of your labor. You can't do that, then meditate on me. This is the verse here now he's saying, if you can't do that, then meditate. But if you can't even meditate, then at least gain some knowledge about me. Understand who I am, who you are, and how we are related. And then the next 8 verses, this is one of the smallest chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, 20 verses. The next 8 verses, Krishna describes the qualities of devotees, what makes them really special. So let's see what he says.
Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankarah समदुःख सुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः.
One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself of a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me.
अनपेक्षः सुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः.
My devotee, who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me.
न रश्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान् य समे प्रियः.
One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. Such a devotee is very dear to me.
समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु समः संग विवर्जितः तुल्य निंदा स्तुतिर्मौनी संतुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर् भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is very dear to me.
ये तु धर्मामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेऽतीव मे प्रियाः.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very dear to me.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai. 12th chapter ki jai. Is the name of this chapter is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga ki jai. And I wanted to also thank Shavi. Shavi ki jai. Well done. 10 verses now. You're halfway through. Well done. Really good work. And also your brothers are doing so well. So impressive. So well done to Mummy. Amazing effort. Really good. And thank you to Shritan and also Nandini for reading so beautifully. So do you want to just introduce who's come? There's somebody called Swati. Is that one of your friends?
Yeah, just a second, Abhiji, I'll see.
Yes, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Still more.
Hare Krishna, Rohit, I see you at work.
Prashanti is our friend.
Okay. Oh, yes, yes.
And Swati is also, yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much for joining.
And
So,
Lavanya, you know.
Lavanya, yes.
Yeah,
Very
I
nice.
think that's it, yeah.
No, very good. Thank you very much. So not everybody will know about this month, right? The Kartik Mass, Damodar month. Oh, no? Will devotees know about Kartik Mas? Shall we just quickly explain it, what it's about? Okay, so let's quickly explain it. Let me just find where we are. Okay, so this month is basically the whole of November, in this year anyway, because we follow the lunar calendar. And it's very auspicious. Anything we do, especially bhakti-wise, any devotion to God, is multiplied 1,000 times. It's said that this is like the sale of the century this month. It comes every year, fortunately for us. And it's special because there was a really amazing pastime that took place over 5,000 years ago when Krishna was on this planet. And he, of course, brings his devotees and his land from the spiritual world. And one of the devotees he brings with him is Yashoda Mai, who acts like his mother. And she's a really powerful personality. One time, he was naughty at home. She had heard about his naughtiness, but she never believed anybody. But this time, he made the mistake of being naughty at home. He broke some pots. He stole some butter. He even fed the butter to the monkeys. And when she found that out, she realized what the neighbors have been saying is all true about her darling son. And she decided to teach him a lesson that he shouldn't do this. So she picked up a stick and little darling Kanaya, he ran for it. He was scared of his own mother, the person who demons and demigods alike are afraid of, was running from his mother. And he really was frightened. Of course, he's a supreme personality of Godhead. So he's got this dual role of the Supreme Lord and also a son, a lovely, loving son who has a very loving mother. So this chase was done in the act of motherly love. And Krishna was feeling that motherly love, which he wanted to feel in chastisement. So she caught him, that person who yogis can't catch lifetime, even if they spend lifetime after him. She caught him and she even bound him to a wooden mortar. And of course, nobody can bind the Supreme Lord unless he gives the permission. So he gave the permission and she made the effort. Those are the two important ingredients for our bhakti. We do the effort and the Lord sanctifies it, gives us permission. And the Lord, of course, showed his divinity as well, because he used that wooden mortar and went in between two huge Tamal Arjun trees, and he smashed them down, from whom two devatas appeared. They had been cursed to appear as trees because they had been disrespectful to a sage. But the sage was very kind to them. He said to them that they will be born in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and one day Krishna will come and liberate them, which is exactly what he did. So this pastime is called Yashoda Damodar. This is Yashoda, this is Damodar, and we offer this candle every day, which we'll talk about in a little while. This month is very special to Srimati Radharani, actually. It's her month. So that's why Krishna loves this month. And many, many things happened in this month. Diwali, Govardhan Puja, Tulsi Viva will take place. Gopastami is on Sunday. There's some very important Ekadashis that take place. So this month is actually full of glorious days. And we do many things in this month. We increase our bhakti. So we offer a ghee lamp or a candle to the Lord every single day. And very simple to offer. We will do that a little bit later. We sing this bhajan, which we will sing a bit later, Damodarastakam. We try to remember the Lord more. So we sing about him, like we were singing earlier, the Mahamantra, or we do more rounds, Japamala. We read the Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, very easy chapter, but very powerful message by the Lord. And we recite the Gopi Geet, which is from the Bhagavatam. Try to do some fasting. Fasting is always good because we're always eating. So fasting is actually very good for us spiritually and physically as well. And we try to do more devotion, less TV, less social media like that. So in this month, we're also spending a little bit of time. We'll spend 15 minutes on Krishna Leela from Krishna book, and that's by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we've come through quite a bit. And Janaki, do you want to continue?
Haribol, I don't mind, whatever you would like.
You can. I don't mind.
Okay.
So this is where we left off, right? Where Kams was killed, and then the parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, were freed from the jail, as well as Ugrasen, who was made the king.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So do you want me to speak or?
Yeah, be good.
Be nice.
Okay, so just to catch everyone up, we've been like reading this book, which is all about Krishna's pastimes when he was here 5,000 years ago, physically on planet Earth, and all the things that happened. And up to yesterday, we were just discussing what happened. And Krishna had killed his maternal uncle Kans, who had been a very cruel king, and he had actually imprisoned his sister, his father, and had he was very scared because Kans had a prophecy that Krishna was going to kill him. So he was always trying to kill Krishna. But Krishna finally was able to kill Kans, and he was now in Mathura. So this is where this all took place. Krishna grew up in Vrindavan, but he went to Mathura to do all of this. And now he was with his birth parents, Devaki and Vasudeva. They're the ones who gave birth to him, but he was actually raised in Vrindavan by Yashoda and Nand Baba. And once Kans was killed, it was time for Krishna to spend some time in Mathura with his birth parents, Devaki and Vasudeva. And at this point, Nand Baba and all the people from Vrindavan, they were very, very upset that Krishna was not going to come back to Vrindavan with them. But Krishna said, my parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, have been in prison for so long here in Mathura that maybe I should spend some time here with them. And he freed them from prison. And Nand Baba, who'd come with him to Mathura, it was time for him to go back to Vrindavan. And it's very nicely explained that Krishna, when he was sending his father back to Vrindavan, he packed with him all the nice things that he would need from Mathura city. So Vrindavan is a village and Mathura is a city. So Krishna was thinking, what will my family need in Vrindavan? And he packed him the type of things you get in the city, like nice clothes and nice ornaments and big cooking utensils, I guess the equivalent of the pressure cookers now, which you get in the city. So Krishna very nicely did all of this, and he sent his family from Vrindavan back there, and he began to live in Mathura. And Devaki and Vasudeva, they wanted Krishna to get a good education. Krishna in Vrindavan had spent his entire 11 years of his life just looking after the cows, herding the cows. And Devaki and Vasudeva, they said, it's time for our Krishna to get some education. He needs an education. So they decided to send him to a place called Avantipuri. I'm sure some of you might have heard of Avanti School, the Krishna Avanti schools, which have opened. They're actually named after this place called Avantipur, which is the place where Krishna went to get his education. This is where his parents sent him. And it was the system back then that to get a good education, you have to stay away from home for some time. And I guess it's kind of the same situation now, because people still go to university and they have to stay away from home. And it said that's how you get a good education, by being focused and being away from home. So Krishna went to Avantipur and he began to learn all the things that he needed to learn. And it said he spent, I think, 65 days. Is it 65 days?
64.
64 days, yeah, 64 days at this ashram of his guru, learning all the things which he had not been able to learn. But we know that Krishna is God, so he actually knew everything. He knew all knowledge is his, all knowledge comes from God. But still, to show the world that we should get an education and we should have a guru and we should have someone who we learn from, he also went and embarked on this formal education process. And here he learned everything. He learned everything from politics to scriptures to science. It's even explained he learned how to make different types of drinks. He learned how to dance. He learned how to do music. And he was so clever, along with his brother Balaram, that they'd both gone to this ashram, that they, whatever they were taught, they would pick up in just minutes. They would just absorb the knowledge. And that's, of course, because Krishna, we know, is Bhagwan. He has all of this knowledge comes from him. But it didn't take them long to become very, very expert at whatever they had supposedly showing the world they've gone to learn, but it's actually theirs anyway. But it was completed quite quickly, their education. And when their education had finished, their guru, it's customary to give our guru, our teacher, a gift, to say thank you for teaching us so much. So the guru decided that he would ask his wife. I think he asked his wife, what would you
Yeah.
like?
That's right. Actually, just before you go there,
Yeah.
this place is now
Ujjain.
called Ujjain.
Ujjain.
Yeah, so that's the modern day name, but actually Ujjain is a spiritual name anyway. But also, if we go to Ujjain, the Sandipani Muni, that was the name of the guru. There's a Sandipani Muni ashram there, so you can
Still there.
actually see the ashram, the Gurukul, where Krishna and Balaram went and studied and learned. So it's really interesting.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. There's like a massive temple, I think, in Ujjain now as well,
Yes.
to mark how special this place is. So at the time of Krishna finishing his education, his guru decided to ask his wife. His guru had realized that Krishna is not an ordinary student. He's someone very special. And the guru knew that this was a chance to ask for maybe something that they really needed. So the guru asked his wife and said, what shall we ask as a gift from our students for teaching? And his wife said, there's only one thing I want, and that's, I want my dead son back. She'd actually lost her son. So the guru and his wife had lost their son some time back, and they said, we want our son back. So they knew that if anybody's able to give their child back, it can only be Krishna. So they asked for this, and Krishna immediately went to the ocean, because the son had drowned in an ocean. So Krishna immediately said yes, and he went to the ocean. And there, the ocean deity, the presiding deity of the ocean, came out, and he explained that the son of the guru had actually been taken by a demon. And then Krishna went to find that demon in the ocean. So he went looking, and he found the demon, and he tried to find the son inside the stomach of the demon, seeing maybe he's eaten him, but he couldn't find him anywhere. And then finally, Krishna decided to go to Yamraj, the Lord of Death, and find out the whereabouts of their guru's son. And Krishna explained to Yamraj that I know people die because of their karma and their destiny, but I'm giving you an order that I need to fulfill my teacher's desire to have their son back. And Yamraj, knowing that this was Bhagavan, this was God asking for something, very happily gave the son back. And Krishna, as Guru Dakshina to his guru, gave the deceased son alive back to his teacher. So that was quite a big gift that Krishna was able to give. And
that's really nice, well explained, actually. I'm glad you explained it, because I would not explain it so nicely. I'm learning more from you than myself. Just a couple of things there was that Yamaraj actually said that he took the son in order to get Krishna's darshan. He knew this was going to happen. So in this way, he actually got Krishna's darshan, which is quite incredible. And the demon, Panchajanya, he actually had in his possession a conch, isn't it? Which Krishna took, and Krishna gave it to his guru. Yeah. And then Sandipani Muni gave it back to Krishna, said, you're going to need this later.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's really nice. Yeah, I hadn't caught that point about Yamraj wanting Krishna's darshan. That's really nice, because it shows how all of these people are just wanting to have darshan of Krishna as well, how everyone's desiring that. That's really nice. And then so they completed their education quite swiftly, and they made their way back to Mathura, and they were back in the city. And it's at this point that sometimes Krishna was living his city life, but he was very much missing Vrindavan. That's the place he'd grown up. And sometimes in the middle of the night, he would just be crying for his Maya Yashoda. He'd be saying Yashoda, or he'd be saying Radha Rani, he'd be thinking of the gopis. And he was really missing the residents of Vrindavan that he'd grown up with. And that's because, home is where our heart is. No matter where we go, we will never forget the people of our home. They're the closest to us. And for Krishna, that was the same. The people closest to him were the people in Vrindavan, and he was missing them. He could have all the luxuries of now city life, but he was not happy. He was saying, I'm missing my family back at home. So he decided that he wanted to send a message to the people in Vrindavan. And when he'd left Vrindavan to come to Mathura, he'd promised, I will come back. I will come back to Vrindavan. But for now, he decided that he wanted to send them a message to tell them how much he's also thinking of them. And he decided to send a messenger. And this messenger was called Uddhav. And Uddhav was actually is Krishna's cousin. He was Vasudev, Krishna's father's brother's son. So that was their relationship, their first cousins. And Uddhav, like a lot of us are very close with our cousins. Uddhav and Krishna were also very close. They were like more than cousins, they were also best friends. They had a really good relationship. So he trusted him more than anyone. And he said, please go to Vrindavan and take a message for my family and the gopis and Radha Rani. Take them a message and, let them know that I'm also thinking about them. And he wrote a letter. Krishna actually wrote a letter to the residents of Vrindavan, and he sent Uddhav to take this letter. Now, Uddhav was very, very clever. He was extremely intelligent, and he understood scripture very well. But there was one thing about Uddhav, and that was sometimes because he was so clever. When someone's very clever, they can often know about how clever they are. He was a little bit aware of his intelligence. So sometimes he was, he thought he knew everything. And that's one of the reasons we'll find out why Krishna chose to send Uddhav as well. So Uddhav gets on a chariot and he goes from Mathura to Vrindavan. And he reaches Vrindavan in the evening, and it's time for the cows are coming back. And this is where he sees Yashoda and Nand Baba and everyone. And he, first thing he does is he goes and visits Yashoda and Nand Baba, and he realizes that no one has loved Krishna in the way that, his parents in Vrindavan have. And Krishna used to say this as well, that though Vasudeva and Devaki have given birth to me, the love of Yashoda and Nanda Baba in Vrindavan, they raised me so well that love is unmatched. And Uddhav saw this, and he, was talking to Nanda Baba and Yashoda in Vrindavan, and they were just asking, how is Krishna? What is he up to in Mathura? Does he sometimes think of us? Does he ever remember us? And Yashoda Maya was just crying, just missing her son so much. And Uddhav said to them, Krishna has said he will come back. He will come back at some point. And they were just, talking about Krishna. And Uddhav spent, I think, the night there, and he stayed with them. And then the next morning, he went off to give the message to those who really Krishna wanted to send a message to, and that's the gopis. The gopis were the young girls of Vrindavan, who Krishna spent a lot of time with. He did ras with them, and he was very good friends with them. And the gopis loved Krishna very much. And Uddhav went and saw them, and he saw that they were so miserable without Krishna. And Uddhav began to say, I've got a message. Krishna has written you a letter. Let me tell you this letter. So they all sat down in a place in Vrindavan, and Uddhav said, let me read you this letter. And Uddhav, he looked, very much like Krishna, and, cousins sometimes look alike. And, at first the gopis thought, has Krishna come back? And then Uddhav introduced himself, and he said, okay, let me tell you Krishna's message. I'm Krishna's cousin. And he said, Krishna has said that, I am everywhere. I am everywhere in the world. So, I am Bhagavan. I'm everywhere. You don't need to worry about being separated from me. Don't worry about missing me, because I'm everywhere. You can't miss someone who is everywhere. And the second thing Krishna said is, along with saying that I'll come back at some point, he said, also, me being away from you, this has increased your love, because Krishna was saying when there's separation, more love takes place. So it's explained like a woman misses her lover more when he's away like if he's gone away on a business trip. In that same way, she's thinking of him more at that time when he's not there than when he's with her at home. In the same way, Krishna said, me being away in Mathura, that means you were all thinking of me more. So your love has increased. So that's why I'm also separated from you. Now, the gopis, they were listening to this message, but they weren't convinced. They said, they didn't want to think of Krishna as Bhagavan or God. Krishna was just their beloved. And Surdas, the very famous poet, he's written many poems on what the gopis said back to Uddhav because they were not convinced by this letter or Uddhav's message. And one of the things they said is, Uddho mana na bhaye dasabis. Ek tho wo to gayo sham sang. We don't have many minds to think about God and to worship God and to think about things. We have one mind, and that mind has gone with Krishna when he left Vrindavan. That's gone to with him. So don't tell us about this worship of God or thinking about God being everywhere. We don't have that mind. We're missing Krishna so much. We just want him back. And you say our love will increase, but we want him back here. We want to do those things we did with him. And we're not convinced by his message that he'll come back. We want him back now. And Uddhav saw that the gopis' minds was completely fixed on Krishna. They didn't understand scripture. They didn't understand the concept of Krishna being God. They didn't understand, big knowledge, the way Uddhav did. But their love for God or Krishna was much greater than Uddhav had ever experienced. And this is where it said the bhakti, the love of the gopis was so great that it was unmatched. So Uddhav realized that you don't need to be a big knowledgeable person to be the most perfect person. The most perfect person is the one who purely loves God in the way that these gopis did. And the gopis, they were showing symptoms of how much they loved Krishna. They would sometimes talk to a bee nearby as if he was a messenger of Krishna, because the bee, they said, the bee goes to one flower and then goes to the next after it's taken some of the nectar. And they said, Krishna's like that. First he was with us, now he's gone off to Mathura and he's with the city girls. And they would say things like, he must be now eating what we call meva, like nuts and dry fruits in Mathura. He's forgotten the makhan, the yogurt that we used to, be involved with here. So they were not so much joking, they were criticizing Krishna, but with so much love behind that criticism. It's not a normal criticism. They were just so focused on missing him and thinking of him that they were saying all these things. And in the end, after they said all of these things to Uddhav, they just said, forget everything we said, just tell us, how is Krishna? Does he think of us? When is he going to come back? And Uddhav realized these gopis were the best of best devotees, and he decided he wanted to stay in Vrindavan. He stayed there for a few months. He'd gone to give a message, but he was there 4 months. Is it 8 months? Oh wow, okay, yeah, I didn't know it was that. 8 months he spent in Vrindavan. He became addicted to Vrindavan. It said the bhakti of Vrindavan was so great that he just wanted to stay there. And he showed what a lot of the devotees of Krishna experience in some way now, which is you go to Vrindavan once you're addicted, because the bhakti of Vrindavan and the gopis is so great, you can only see it there. And this is how Uddhav was chosen by Krishna, one, to remove his ego that knowledge is better than love. And this is how the world was shown that the love of the gopis is the best.
Yeah, well done. You're absolutely right, because Uddhav was thinking, because Krishna would consult him on every matter.
Yeah.
Even if it was a small matter, Krishna would say, Uddhav, what do you think?
Yeah.
So Uddhav was thinking, I've come quite close to Krishna. And he had this gyan mixed in with bhakti. And Krishna wanted to show him, actually, keval bhakti, just bhakti, is what I will always be attracted to. Yes. And then he came to Vrindavan and he realized, I came to teach them, but actually they've taught me how to love Krishna. So it's such a phenomenon. This part of the Bhagavatam is so important.
And then he wanted to be a blade of grass or something like that in Vrindavan, so that he could have the dust of the gopis' feet on him every day.
And this bumblebee, it's nice you mentioned that, because Radharani would talk to the bumblebee, because like the bumblebee, Krishna was black and the bumblebee was also black. So she would mistaken him to be Krishna and have a real go at the bumblebee at some point.
That's the Brahma Geet.
Yes, that's right.
Brahma-Geet, yeah. Yeah, and this was all symptoms of their ecstasy, their love, that they were talking to bees and they were criticizing Krishna and they were getting happy and sad, and it all just showed their what they call Mahabhav, their excellence.
Thank you so much. So that's Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. And Hare Krishna. Who's that?
Can I congratulate Janaki? She explained so well.
She
The
does.
words were flowing excellently. I really, really enjoyed. Thank you so much.
And she's going to have to continue tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
For your blessing. More often on and speak.
Thank you. Just please bless me. Thank you.
You're blessed to come tomorrow. No, just to make the most of this. These satsangs are rare. Yeah, no, just want to check. Oh, yes. So just wanted to, we can do the Damodarastakam now. And devotees can offer the ghee lamp. If you have a lamp. Oh, good. Kalpanaben is there. Fantastic. Hare Krishna, Kalpanaben. Just
we can
right.
you all done. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Now,
yeah, just one second. Can you see?
No, let me just do that. Okay. Now you have to turn the camera around, I think. Yes.
Very
Balgopal.
nice.
Balgopal.
Can you see?
Yeah, Laddu Gopal. And who else is there?
And
Radha Krishna, yes, we can see.
Very
Radha Krishna.
Very good, very good. Well done. And have your daughters come?
No, they didn't actually.
Oh, no problem. No problem. So we're going to sing the Damodarastakam. We don't have to read the English anyway. So it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So whilst we're singing, you can offer the lamp. And if you don't have a lamp, go on, sing.
So if you don't have a lamp, you can mentally think about offering a lamp. So you can hold out your right hand as if you're offering. So it's 7 times around Krishna and 7 times around Yashoda.
And this is the song we'll sing. We just sing it once, all the way through.
So we can highlight Yashoda Damodar as well.
Oh yeah, let's do that. 1 second. And if you don't have Yashoda Damodar, this is here.
Yeah, you could offer.
And Partha is singing today. Okay, Partha. Can you see? dadame manasya vidastamalalachalave namo deva damodar ananta vishnu prasida prabodhaka jaladimanam kripaje shiveshyati dinambadano grihane shamamagane yakshijeshya kuberatmajo vadamutaiva yadvan kayamachido bhakti pajagritoja tata prema bhaktim sotame priyaja namokshagraho mesti damodareha namaste swadamne swadaditi damne svadiyo dadaya da vishwasya damne namadadikaya itratiya priyaya namanantalilaya devaya turyam namadadikaya itratiya priyaya namadadikaya itratiya priyaya namadadikaya itratiya priyaya namanantalilaya devaya turyam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Prabhu. I know. That'll be the end of that.
Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nityadeva Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya
Damodarastakam ki
Jai.
jai. Yashoda Damodar ki jai. I wanted to have a look at. Very good, Lakshmi Devi. So this is Saraswati, Gayatri, like that, right?
Yeah, Saraswati Devi, Lakshmi Devi, Balaji, Ganesh, and Murugan.
Oh yes, that's
Krishna
right.
is here. Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much for darshan. Very, very nice. And let's have a look at Janaki's as well there. This is Kalpanaben. And then Janaki. Janaki's is always amazing. She's got Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, and then the big Krishna here. Very, very nice. Thank you so much, Janaki.
Let's see you go, Giriraj, Janaki.
The toy one.
Just a second, I'll give you close up.
And Geeta, would you like to sing the Singer prayers?
Yes, of course, Prabhu.
Okay, you can actually sing. That's beautiful.
Jai.
Ladu Gopal, huh?
Sorry, I'm like.
Very good. Look at Giriraj.
Oh, that one there, yeah. That's a toy Giriraj.
Yeah, it's just as good. It's really good. Cute. Thank you.
So, thank you so much. We wanted to pray for the protection of everybody, especially in these little bit crazy times. And the best deity to pray to is an avatar of Lord Krishna called Nrsimhadev, half man, half lion. And he's very sweet, especially to his devotees. You can see here, he's very affectionate to Prahlad Maharaj. So we'd like to pray to him for protection of our spiritual life, our mental situation, and our health as well. So Geeta, just please sing it once.
Okay, sure, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Namaste Narasingaya Praladaladidaine Hiranyakashipurvaksha Silatankanakalaye Ito nasimo parato nasimo Yato yami tato nasimo Pahe nasimo hirdi nasimo Nasim mamadim sharanam prapati Tavakara kamalavare Nakamadbuddha shinga Dalitari ranyakashipu Tanu pringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsimhadev 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 Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya 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 Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Jai Lord Nrsimhadev ki Jai Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai.
Thank you so much. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Venkat, Lakshmi, Kalpanaben, who hosted. So thank you so much. And join us every day. We are here 7:30 every day. But tomorrow, a very special Saturday and Sunday, we're doing at 3 o'clock. A little bit more on the pastimes of Lord Damodar. In a little bit more detail, and we are going through some of the different acharyas who have written on this wonderful Leela, and it's really fascinating. I'm actually doing a little bit of study on it, and it's really the most incredible Leela. So join us at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and again at 7:30 we will carry on as a daily satsangs. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you, Venkatji. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you to your friends for joining. It was nice.
Shritan Nandini.
Shritan Nandini, yeah, well done, Nandini. Hare Krishna. Nandini, how long are you isolating?
I have to isolate for 14 days, and it's been like around 5 days.
Okay, so you just come back from uni, so that's why you're isolating. Okay.
Oh no, I don't get. I'm in year 12 still.
Oh,
but my friend
sister
got it, so
I see. Okay, your older sister's at uni.
Yeah, my older sister.
Okay, good. And she's safe, yeah?
Yeah, she's fine.
Good. Okay. Hare Krishna, Surinder.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Ananda Leela. Very nice. Very nice. So tomorrow, 3 o'clock, just join a little earlier, and you can do Yashomati. That'll be nice.
Thank you,
Nice.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
That'd be really
Tomorrow,
good.
3 p.m. Yes.
Thank you.
Dandavad. Nitai Gaur Hari.
And I'm thinking the bhajan that we start with on Thursday the 3rd, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Brindavan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really nice bhajan. So we can start with that one.
Yes, very good.
And Geeta, Hare Krishna Geeta, how are you doing, Geeta?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you, Prabhu.
Good. So tomorrow, will you join us tomorrow?
So at 3 o'clock?
Yeah,
Yes, tomorrow's fine.
good. You can join a little early if you want to practice the Damodar, huh?
Yes, sure, I will do. Yeah, so sorry today. I was really, really busy with work.
No, that's okay. No, that's
Yeah.
okay. It's amazing you were able to join. So
Yeah.
very nice. No, well done. Thank you so much. Huh?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Devina.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Devina.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Janaki. You working
Janaki. Hare Krishna, Janaki.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Janaki Maharaj Gay. Hare Krishna Surinder. Sharmila, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Are you able to join tomorrow at 3?
Yes, I
Okay,
will.
good, because
Definitely.
I think you'll find it quite interesting about Damodar.
Okay. So
Yeah,
there will be a one at 7:30 as well, yeah?
as well. Yes.
Okay. Good.
So Devina, you working tomorrow?
I'm working until 2.
Okay, so try to join us at 3 if you can.
I will rush. Yeah.
If you can. Oh,
Is it night time as 7:30 still there or not?
Yes,
Or
yes. Both are there, both.
7:30 as well.
As well. But 3 o'clock, we will have a lot of detail about Damodar.
Okay, I will try.
Yeah. No, only if you can. Only
Yeah.
if you
Don't worry, I'll watch you on the train.
Yeah, I see you do that. It's good.
Yeah. Otherwise, I won't make it.